My husband died, and I have to pretend that he was a great man who loved me. My husband died 3 months ago. When it happened, I felt a deep sense of relief washing over me, though I couldn't show it to anyone around me. He abused me in so many ways, financially, mentally, and even physically. It started slowly, but got worse over time. When I found out I was pregnant, he convinced me to quit my job. He said he would take care of everything, that I didn't need to worry. But that was just the beginning of his control. After that, I couldn't buy anything without asking him first. Not even the smallest things, like a face cream or a new pair of socks. I always had to get his permission. He decided whether I could have things or not, like I was a child instead of his wife. What was mine quickly became ours, but what was his stayed firmly his. There was no fairness in our relationship. I stayed with him for a long time because, despite everything, I still loved him. I also had nowhere else to go. My self-esteem had been worn down to almost nothing, and I let him treat me badly because I thought I deserved it. By the time I finally stopped loving him, the damage was done, and he had already cheated on me once. I started planning my escape in secret. I began saving money little by little, hiding it away where he couldn't find it. I was working selling things from home, cosmetics, kitchenware, anything I could, because he wouldn't let me work outside the house. He was incredibly jealous and always accused me of wanting to meet other men. I was trying to save up enough money to pay for a lawyer, knowing I'd need help to get away from him. Then he started cheating again, but this time it was with a male friend of his. As strange as it sounds, this actually made things easier for me. It kept him busy and distracted, and I was relieved that he wasn't paying attention to me anymore. I wanted him to stay as far away as possible. I knew about this man, and I knew my husband well enough to know what was going on. I could have caused a huge scandal, but I didn't. I stayed quiet and kept planning my way out while my husband and that man had their secret relationship. By this point, I only felt disgust towards my husband, nothing more. But then my husband died in a way I never could have expected. Now, suddenly, everyone treats him like he was some kind of hero or saint. It's like when someone dies, all their bad actions and behaviors just disappear from people's memories. Even my own family, who knew about his cheating and how he manipulated and controlled me, now talk about what a good man he was. They say we shouldn't speak ill of the dead, as if death erases all the pain he caused. Everyone around me talks about how beautiful our relationship was, how much we loved each other. His family goes on and on about what a great man he was, how he always focused on providing for me and our child, how selfless and caring he was. It makes me sick to hear these lies. At the funeral, the person he had been cheating with, this man who knew exactly what kind of person my husband really was, had the nerve to hug me and tell me how much my husband had loved me. His friends all came up to me, one after another, telling me what a wonderful person he had been, how much he would be missed. Everyone talks about how good he was, how he's now an angel in heaven watching over us. It took everything in me not to scream out the truth. And through all of this, I have to pretend to be sad. I have to act like I'm grieving for this man who made my life a living hell. The day he died, I cried a lot, but not because I was sad. I cried because for the first time in years, I felt free. I felt like I could breathe again. It would have taken me so many years to save enough money for lawyers with my little store, all while keeping it secret from him. If I had tried to leave while he was alive, he would have kept everything. He would have made my life even more of a hell than it already was. I know this because he told me so every single time I tried to stand up for myself. But now, with him gone, I have the house. I have everything. I get money every month for being a widow, and I have my children all to myself. No more fighting over custody, no more threats of taking them away from me. I've started seeing a psychologist. Everyone thinks I'm doing it to cope with my grief, to process the loss of my beloved husband. But that's not it at all. I'm going to therapy to get over the years of abuse I suffered from him, to learn how to be myself again, how to be strong and independent. It was incredibly hard to pretend to be sad at the funeral, to stand there and accept condolences from people who had no idea what my life had really been like. But I did it for my children. I did it because now everything is over and I'm finally free. I didn't want to cause a scene or make things more complicated. I just wanted it all to be over. If I had made a fuss, if I had told the truth about what kind of man he really was, my ex-mother-in-law would have done everything in her power to make sure I didn't keep anything. They were just like him, manipulative, cruel, willing to do anything to maintain control. But now, in their eyes, I'm just a sad widow who needs help. The silly, naive wife who didn't know anything about her husband's true nature. As frustrating as it is to be seen this way, it's actually helping me to be free and have what I deserve after all these years of abuse. I should mention, we're not from a country where being gay is against the law or anything like that. Where we live, couples of the same sex can live together openly and even get married if they want to. My husband didn't cheat on me with a man because he couldn't be open about his sexuality. He just cheated on me with a man the same way he had cheated on me with a woman before. I guess he was attracted to both men and women. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that he betrayed me, over and over again, in so many ways. Now, I'm focusing on healing, on building a new life for myself and my children. It's not easy, pretending to be the grieving widow while secretly feeling relieved and free. But I'll do whatever it takes to protect myself and my kids, to make sure we have the future we deserve. For the first time in years, I feel hope. And no matter what anyone else thinks about my dead husband, I won't let that hope be taken away from me again.